What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is going to be a new series I'm going to be starting weekly, basically trying to get it out on Friday for you guys. So it's going to be a series about where I predict the set of fixtures and the results that I hope and try to get them as close as possible. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Friday night football. Bournemouth against Brighton. Going into this, Bournemouth banging form. Brighton, not really much is expected of them coming up last year, so I think I'm going to have to go with a 2-2 draw because I think both teams can score goals. Both teams do generally find it hard to defend, so let me know what you think. I think it will be a 2-2 draw. Moving on to Saturday, we've got 7 games on Saturday. Crystal Palace against Southampton. Palace, they're going through turmoil at the moment. So I think Southampton should have an easy game, should have an easy run of it, which won't be a surprise to many because we all know, they've played 4 games, they've lost all 4. So Southampton, they should go on and win this quite easily. So I'm predicting a 3-0 away win. Huddersfield against Leicester. Both teams very, very up and down. Huddersfield, they're doing very, very well for their first season in the Premier League. So I reckon from what they have done this year, I think they will surprise a few, which is a good thing. Because I think they have got the surprise factor about them. They've got some good players that are playing for them. So I reckon this will be a close game, one that I'd actually like to watch myself. That I reckon the result will be a 2-2 draw again. So, let me know your comments and suggestions in the comments below. So moving on to the next one, you've got Liverpool against Burnley. Liverpool have looked red hot this year with their front three and the new acquisition of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Judas, Snake. But they should run out comfortable winners. I'm going to predict a 3-0 win because I do respect Burnley and their sort of philosophy of football and what they've done. They're doing things all the right way, which is good. They're a well-run club, for the size of the stadium, size of the club that they are. And so moving on to the next fixture, Newcastle against Stoke, which is again Stoke could surprise a few this year. I think they they definitely surprised us a couple of weeks ago. They're beating us 1-0, which wasn't great. I watched the game. We were shocking. Just absolutely didn't know. It looked like they hadn't played together at all ever. Which it's not surprised that most Arsenal fans probably would agree, but I think Stoke will win this 2-1. I see it being a close game, very exciting end to end, but Stoke eventually edging out Newcastle. So Watford against Man City. Well, we all know Man City have looked absolutely amazing this year, so there's no surprise that I'm going to say City are going to run out easy winners. I think with the players that they bought half a Monaco basically. So it's not. Let's make no bones about it. City will win, and I reckon City will maybe score a few goals. So I think it will probably be either 3 or 4-0. With that being said, let's move on to the next one. West Brom against West Ham. Well, there's not much you can say about both of these teams because both of the teams are generally, they're not overly amazing, but they're not particularly boring to watch. Because West Ham, they had a good result last Monday against Huddersfield. That was great. It's a good game to watch. 2 late goals, but a win's a win. You've got to take them, when they come. So when you get games like this, the confidence is high. And now we come to Tottenham against Swansea. Well, theoretically, it should come down as no surprise that I'm going to predict a home win. Tottenham, it does pain me to say it, but Tottenham have been playing absolutely fantastic football. They last year they were very unlucky not to go on and even go further and win the Premier League, but you know, we all know how that ended up. Swansea, on the other hand, have lost a couple of key players, Sigurdsson and Llorente, which is, it's not very good for them, but also they brought Wilfred Barney back, so hopefully he can rekindle the form that he had before that got him the big move to City. If he does, I think they will be all right. They're going to stay up. No question about it. They've got a great manager, Paul Clement. So they've got just great team spirit. And I reckon Spurs will win this. I think it will be an entertaining game. I think it will be a 3-2 home win. Coming on to Super Sunday. Now, every Arsenal fan knows Super Sunday doesn't generally go well for us. Whenever we play the big teams, we seem to fold. We seem to really just not ever be up for it. There's always excuses. Wenger's going to probably use an excuse that we played later on a Thursday. Anything to divert the blame away from us not being prepared. So I just hope he plays the strongest team against Chelsea, because whatever team we play and put out against Chelsea, I don't think it will be strong enough. Partly because there's a few issues that I will raise eventually once, within the video. So Chelsea look strong. They brought in Morata. That's great. I think it's just amazing that that they did spend over the odds for him. But with that all being said, Chelsea will run out easy winners, because they always do. Look at last year. We were an embarrassment. Absolutely appalling. It looked like they'd never played together. It looked like certainly that they'd never won it. They were not playing under Wenger, and they wanted him out. But with that being said, this year hopefully we can put all that behind us, and hopefully we can actually start turning up against the big teams, the big four, the big five, the big seven. However you see it. I see it being another hard day for an Arsenal fan. So I see us losing 3-1. You can, leave your suggestions in the comments below. And and moving on to the final game of the weekend, which is Manchester United against Everton. Rooney going back to Old Trafford for the first time. I can see that being a factor in favour of Everton, because I think he's actually really improved going back there. He's actually improved as a player, and I've started to actually take notice of him, and not just because he's playing at Man United. He was kind of just one of many, but also playing at Everton, he's not now one of many. He is one of the most experienced, and he's a top goal scorer. Let's make no bones about it. But that being said, I still think Man United have got too much with the likes of Paul Pogba, just in general. I think with Rashford as well, with Martial, with just the whole, just the Mourinho factor. I think the whole he always takes a season to get it right, so he'll eventually he does get it right within the second season. I can't see anyone else beating them, because they've got Lukaku as well, and obviously we all know he had a great season last year, hence the reason why United have come in for him this year. I think overall, as a team, Man United are the complete team, which is probably not a surprise to many, because obviously we've all been watching it week in, week out. They're sweeping teams aside. They've just absolutely, they're on fire. The scoreline that I'm going to go with might surprise a few, might not. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think it will be Manchester United 4, Everton 0. They're there it is. I said it. So I think just Man United, all the teams this year, all the big teams have improved. They haven't actually moved on. Like Arsenal haven't actually moved on. We've just stood still. We've got a dinosaur who is just totally out of date. Needs to should have gone at the end of when we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup. Go out on high, get the record, win the record amount for FA Cup wins. Go out on a high and just leave on a high. As should some of the players. The players should have taken stock of themselves, taken a long, hard look at themselves, and questioned: are they fit to wear that Arsenal shirt? Because from what I saw last year, none of them wanted to play for Wenger. Once the divide was sort of cut between the fans, so it's just I think they're it is there for all to see. It's not good, but we're somehow getting through games against Cologne. An hour's delay, due to fan trouble. That was, just an absolute shambles. I don't know how Arsenal have been charged with failing to control their fans when they knew full well that they had only 2,900 tickets, a lot for an away champion or Europa League game. But it is what it is. We ended up winning 3-1. The boy Sanchez came on, scored a worldie. Kolasinac came on, he scored a great volley, and we live and we move on to the next game. Which let's see how it goes this weekend. Arsenal, as I always say, do not let me down. And well, aside from that, just got to say a few. This is if you like the whole sort of series that I'm going to be doing for the remaining weeks of the fixtures, week in, week out. I'm going to be chatting about the Europa League, the Champions League, and just football in general. Like if there's certain issues that need to be addressed, just regarding any team, it's not just going to be biased towards Arsenal, even though they are my team and I love them to absolute pieces. But we've got to make as football fans, last night's events were unacceptable. When you're looking for a reason to go to the Emirates and have a night out, and have a good time, go and get some footage, get some photos, enjoy the game. Young kids were at that game last night with their families, with their dads, their mums, daughters, sons. And it's ridiculous. It was hot. It was distressing to see what the Germans were doing. There was no call for any of it to happen. Why they all came over knowing full well that they weren't gonna get in. The joke is that there was reports yesterday that were coming out. They were going into the Arsenal shop and buying Arsenal shirts in order to get into the home end. Fools! What are you doing? Any football fan knows that you don't go into an Arsenal, or you don't go into any other opposition shop, mega shop, whatever it may be, and buy an opposition shirt. You just don't do it. You grow up listening, looking, enjoying the team that you support. You don't do it under any circumstance. Just they were complete. It was organised yesterday. You could see that they were stopping home fans getting in. Whether they're we haven't actually heard how many injuries and whatnot, because all the reports from the TV, from Sky Sports, from BBC, from any sort of news router was they were all sugarcoating it. They were all just not. I don't know. They were all just sugarcoating the fact that there's been scuffles. There's been scuffles between away fans. There's been scuffles between home and away fans. There's been scuffles fighting between stewards. You can't really blame anyone apart from the Cologne fans, because they are the ones to blame. Yeah, Arsenal were the ones that were hosting the event, but you can't blame us for being unable to control the away fans. The away fans aren't anything to do with us. You know, the away fans have travelled here. If they want to let down their club and whatever, and the people and the fans of their club that are not all bad, I know. Before you all say in the comments and whatever, but it's just how football is these days. They hadn't been in European competition for 25 years. I don't really know how they qualified last year for it. I mean, it is what it is. Who knows? We might, if we can go far in it, which I hope we can. I hope Arsenal eventually come to sense. I hope Arsene Wenger eventually comes to sense and says to the players and says to whatever, that not that the players and the fans need to really hear, but it just, for once, take a competition seriously that you haven't won. This is the best chance of getting into the Champions League without having to qualify via the top four, because we all know, looking at Arsenal's current form, we're not getting the Champions League via the top four, because we've already lost too many games. We've already lost nearly as many games as we did last year. And at this time of the season last year, we were actually in a better position, though we didn't start too great. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy it. Let me know why in the comments. Peace. I'm out like a Cub Scout.